Hello everyone, I'm Beyonka from Big Bridge Academy. So first, I want to ask you a question. How can we reduce sexual crime? This question has bothered me for about 3 years. So today I want to talk about it as 3 aspects. The first aspect is legalization of prostitution. In China, organizing prostitution is a considerable crime. However, there are still some people supporting it because they believe that if the human sexual desire, was landed on these sexual workers, the possibility of rape will be greatly reduced. Moreover, compared with prostitution, the possibility and the risk, the cost of sexual crime is much higher. However, is that really the case? Although the prostitution is illegal, it still exists in some part of China and are created in some people's mind because it was dominated by the higher level organizers. It is only open to the rich people, so the poor people who cannot afford prostitution will still choose to commit sexual crimes. The legalization of prostitution is still very significant in China because legalization is not to support prostitution, but in a larger extent, it's to control or even suppress it. For example, it may be wrong to say that legalization of prostitution will help to spread AIDS. Instead, the prostitution will reduce the spread of AIDS because legalized sexual workers will be more active in taking physical examination and more protective action. So, compared with those secret trade, the legalized prostitution will reduce the spread of AIDS to a certain extent. Similarly, the number of women and children who are forced or abducted to be the sexual workers will be reduced because of the legalized management. Therefore, our prostitution do not only need legalization, it also needs a fixed standard to manage it. However, if we want to reduce the sexual crime by opening the market of prostitution, we still need more and more extent. Will the legalized prostitution also and always open to the rich? Will the legalized tax make the workers more disappointed? These are the problems which need our consideration. The next aspect is about adult movies. I once talked to my foreign teacher about the illegal sale of adult movie, and I also tell her an anecdote. When I visited Japan with one of my classmates, the day before we were going to leave Japan, he secretly put Japanese adult movie in his baggage. And in the airport, his movies was confiscated. So later he tells me that is the most embracing moment in his life. In 2005, the adult movie is very hot in America. At least 3.3 million people in the United States pay to watch online adult movies, with an annual total payment of about $2.5 billion. About 11% of internet clicks contribute to pornographic websites, and at least 40% of internet users visited these sites. The popularity of adult movies have a tremendous impact on teenagers, because in most states the adult movie theater not allowed the children to enter, and those children can't rent the adult movies on DVDs. So children at the age between 12 to 17 have become the consumers of online adult movies. Has the popularity of adult movies affect our sexual crimes? A statist, Kendall, he studied over the past 2 years and have a conclusion that the adult movie can dramatically reduce sexual crime rate. He believes that in order to watch adult movies online, we should install our broadband first. So he analyzes when the broadband was installed in different places, such as, just an example, Shanghai and Wuxi. Shanghai has lower rape rates than Wuxi, and Shanghai installed their broadband earlier than Wuxi. However, this kind of experiment draws a lot of suspicion. Many people say that the installation of the broadband will reduce people's time and will make them spend more time on the internet, so they will have less time to do other crimes. So the installation of broadband not only impact the rate of sexual rate, and also impact other kind of crimes. To deal with this suspicion, Kendall lists another 25 measurable data. He finds that the installation of the broadband only influences the rate of rape instead of any kind of other crimes. While Kendall's study is convincing, there's another study that reached different conclusions. She stated Baller, Levin, and Moxton conducted experiments using Norwegian broadband. They found that online movie led to a 2.5% increase in the incidence of sexual crimes. Among them, rape increased by 3.2% and child sexual abuse increased by 2.5%. In this experiment, the direct conclusion about the impact of adult movies that it increased the sexual rate. Because of the two conclusions are dramatically different, so we can't say what is the relationship between our adult movies and sexual crime rate. The last part is sexual education. When my instructor finds that part of my topic is about sexual education, he tells me to choose another one because he thinks it is too common. However, in China, this is not common. Many Chinese students, they begin to learn what is sex by watching adult movies. And even some Chinese students, they learn what is sex by being sexually assaulted. A survey conducted by Beijing Women's Federation shows that 70% of parents avoid talking to their children about sex. A survey conducted by Chinese Academy of Science shows that nearly 50% of parents have never mentioned sex education. So when I want to tell about what is sex education, I even don't know where to start. Because how can I describe something that even doesn't exist in China? What is sex? Why do people get pregnant? Why the women and men, they in the TV series, they kiss each other, touch each other. I answered my parents this question as a child. They didn't tell me the answer. They just tell me, you will know that when you have grown up. However, now I have grown up. Do I really know what is sex? I don't know. I still don't know. So I begin self-education. 76.1% of junior high school students don't know the harm of abortion. 76.3% of junior high school students and 75.5% of senior high school students don't know about contraception. 61.1% of junior high school students and 53.6% of junior high school students don't know how to prevent STDs. So now we learn about sex from adult movies. However, no one teaches us what is sex and what is the price of sex. I often wonder how I will educate my children when I was 20 years old or 30 years old in the future. This year, some primary schools try to promote sex educational books. The books is very cute and very useful. In one section, there's a little girl asking her mother, "Mom, where do I come from?" Her mother tells her, "You come from my belly." "So how can I get out from your belly?" The little girl continued to ask. "You get out from my belly through a place which is between my legs." "So can I look at your place?" "No, you can't," the mom answered. "This is my private place. You also have your own private place, and you can't show it or let others to touch it." The section not only answers the question, "Where do I come from?" but also tells the students, the children, to prepare themselves. However, this kind of books were rejected by those parents. How can we spread this licensed book? They asked the teacher. So finally, those teachers stopped to use this kind of textbooks. In the role of sex, our parents feel like crawling and rolling, and we also feel like crawling and rolling. But should we keep that tradition and let our children experience the same thing just like we do? Later, I also find some different way to educate our children, such as this kind of picture books. It's very cute. So sex education is not to take off our clothes to let our children look at our body, what it looks like. We should tell our children sex is valuable but not shameful. And we should tell them how to protect themselves. When our children know what is sex and how to prevent themselves from sexual assault, we will find that sex education is the oldest but the most efficient way to reduce sexual crimes. I didn't receive sexual education when I was a child. However, now we, including me, you, and our children, we will do more efforts to walk on the road of sex instead of crawling or rolling. Thank you.